AMD's 2022 product premiere included the Ryzen 7000 series of CPUs. While there are still some details to be unveiled, most of the information is now official. Hey, what is up? It's your boy Adi. Today we are going to talk about the new Ryzen 7000 series CPUs. AMD will be officially launching the 7000 series for public in September 27th. The new 5nm AMD processors are based on AMD's Gen 4 architecture, and boys, finally AMD is changing the chipset from Gen 4 to Gen 5. This is really interesting cause AMD was stuck with the AM4 socket for 3 whole generations now. They were really being bottlenecked cause the AM4 socket couldn't support the newer, to be honest, not that better, DDR5 RAMs. But there is a catch, obviously there is. Ryzen 7000 series will not support DDR4 RAM anymore, so DDR5 exclusively. I'm guessing you are fully aware of the pricing of the DDR5 socket, I guess. There's also the support for PCIe Gen 5, which will double the bandwidth of PCIe Gen 4. That means much faster SSDs and, depending on the motherboard you choose, faster graphics as well. Another thing to note, no cooler in the box, so buy that yourself. AMD had already confirmed the support for AM4 coolers with its upcoming AM5 platform, but it reiterated the same at CES 2022. You can expect the mounting holes for AM5 to be the same, and you will be able to use the same CPU coolers that you are currently using with your AMD CPUs. Notably, AMD has also confirmed that the upcoming AM5 will be a long-lived platform, which will be at least till 2025. But probably even longer, cause originally AM4 was supposed to live 3 years, but we can see it lasted a lot longer than 3 years. Lizas also confirmed that the change from AM4 to AM5 was required due to the support for new standards including DDR5 and PCIe Gen 5. Said previously. Speaking of the DDR5 and AMD Expo technology, the extended profiles for overclocking Expo is to AMD, what XMP 3.0 is to Intel. The AMD Expo technology will help DDR5 overclocking for AM5 builds and for the new Ryzen 7000 desktop series processors that were newly announced. AMD Expo technology is a transparent and user-friendly approach to memory profiles. AMD quotes our rich memory testing documents ensure you can verify hardware compatibility, detailed settings and complete memory specs, making it easier for you to find the right RAM. For easier and faster adaptation of Expo technology, AMD has partnered with up to 15 partners in the industry. These include Corsair, ADATA, Gale, Kingston and G-Skill memory kits. According to AMD, the partners' memory kits will offer up to 6400 MT per second, just another unit to defy the speeds of the memories. The main CPUs are R9 7950X, R9 7900X, R7 7700X and R5 7600X. R9 7950X will have 16 core and 32 threads with a burst frequency of 5.7 GHz and a best frequency of 4.5 GHz. It will have a cache of 80 MB with a TDP of 170 watts. On the next one, R9 7900X has 12 cores and 24 threads. They have a boost clock of 5.6 GHz and a base clock of 4.7 GHz with a cache of 76 MB. It will have a TDP of 170 watts. With 8 cores and 16 threads, the Ryzen 7 CPU will have a boost clock up to 5.4 GHz and a base clock of 4.5 GHz. Again, with a cache of 40 MB and a TDP of 105 watts. The last one, R5 7600X with 6 cores and 12 threads, they will have a boost clock of 5.3 GHz and a base clock of 4.7 GHz with a cache amount of 38 MB and a TDP of 105 watt. And yeah, there is no Ryzen 3. At least not till 2023. Boys, perhaps the most important thing to note here is AMD is going to move to a land grid array LGA style of processors with AM5. This will eliminate the pin grid array PGA that has been used by AMD for Ryzen desktop CPUs since the launch. Even though AMD will be using LGA for the first time for Ryzen CPUs, it's no stranger to this socket. Boys, the company uses an LGA socket for both its ePUIC enterprise processors, basically some server level shit, and Threadripper processors. AMD has confirmed that it's using an LGA 1718 pin design with 2 different orientation of pins. The new socket is much denser than its old socket F, which had 1207 pins. And just to put things into perspective, Intel's new 12th gen Elder Lake CPUs use an LGA 1700 socket. For those of you who don't know, this change also means the bottom of the Gen 4 CPUs will have contact pads now instead of pins. The pins will instead be defined at the socket level rather than on the processor. Performance is also a big factor here. So in addition to confirming the AM5 socket and showing us the updated 8-spread design, AMD also showcased to us what the upcoming Ryzen 7000 CPUs can do. The CPUs were hitting 5 GHz on all Gen 4 cores.
And I can tell you that all of those Zen 4 cores are running at 5 gigahertz during this demo.
This is obviously not the kind of performance test to form an opinion on the upcoming CPUs, so we'll need more information to decide whether or not these new chips will make it to our collection for the best gaming CPUs. But boys, performance per watt or power efficiency is a different story. The tech industry is heading towards a dark path of ever increasing power drop for a while now. It seems clear when we saw the TDP of the CPU previously on the video. Compared to the last gen, the increase is about 62%, so they're not freaking messing around. But however, in performance per watt story, the latest 7950X uses 62% lower power while doing the same task compared to the older 5950X and performs well over 49% better in the same power drop. But the impressive part is, in a 65 watt closed TDP scenario, the number grows 74% bigger. To conclude, we can say that rather than being a power hungry monster, they are actually and truly much more efficient. AMD's M5 platform alongside the new Ryzen 7000 series CPUs are set to arrive on September 27th as mentioned in the beginning of this video.
Okay, starting at the top of the stack, the 16-core 7950X
to $700,
the 12-core 7900X is
$550,
the 8-core is
$400,
7600X is priced at
$300. Intel's 12th gen Alder Lake CPUs have managed to take the lead from the AMD's current generation of CPUs. In fact, the Core i5-12600K has become our pick for the best CPU on the market right now, followed by the Ryzen 5 5600X. AMD's upcoming Vcache processor is expected to bridge the gap, but we think it will be the Ryzen 7000 series chips that will truly take the lead from Alder Lake. Not to mention, the new Ryzen 7000 series CPUs will also support DDR5 and PCI Gen 5, both of which are exclusive to Alder Lake CPUs in the desktop space right now. 7600X and B650 motherboard and any high-end GPU you can afford is a much better choice in my opinion than becoming an early adopter of the new 7000 series flagship models. Just to give an estimate, it will cost you around $100 and you will get tremendous amount of performance out of your PC. Speaking of performance, if you are interested in Intel's 13th gen, 14th gen and 15th gen CPUs, click here to check out the video. Bye!